Hello everyone, and welcome to another News Coolum video and another one of my 500-mile trips. Now, it's only been a day since I did my last 500-mile trip, but I'm in the middle of moving. But we're also in the middle of renovating, so I'm not going to be able to do the trip that I would normally do. I'm actually going to have to drive about 50 miles out of my normal driving path before heading down. Maybe not so bad. Maybe it'll only be like 30 with the, the cutoff weird angles or whatever, but I haven't really planned any of that out. But it's going to take a little time while we're down at the flooring store and just in the hardware store and just checking out what finishes we want. So I'm not really going to do a typical trip time on this because I'm running errands while I'm doing the trip. But I figured, while I do it, maybe I'll try another one of those 500-mile new charger challenges. So the goal for this trip is to use no chargers that I've ever used before. So it'll give me a chance to do some extra site reviews, things like that. But again, this is just a fun little challenge that I've developed, and I'm just trying to see how many new chargers there are out there on my regularly driven 500-mile path. That even after 3.5 years with the Bolt EV, I've never gotten a chance to use. So yeah, it's somewhat of an illustration of where the infrastructure is, as well as another way of making it interesting. So I had my car in Hilltop Reserve mode. We're still charging up a little bit, still drawing like 7-8 kilowatts, but hopefully I have an completely full battery by the time we get ready to leave. And yeah, let's get packed up and get ready to head out. Ready to go? All right, so we made it to our first charging stop. I can't say our first stop because I made several stops along the way. I had to head into town, look at some of the stuff at the hardware store. Unfortunately, one of the stores we were going to visit wasn't even open, but we went ahead and grabbed something to eat, and then I headed on or continued on down this way. And yeah, so I decided to stop here in Fremont. There's a new Electrify America, or relatively new Electrify America site that's gone online. This looks like one of their urban chargers, so there are 3 units here, but it must be a relatively new site because it looks like 2 of the units aren't fully on right now. The 2 CCS units. I usually only like to use the CHAdeMO unit as a last resort, just because there is only one CHAdeMO plug. But if it's the charger that's working, it's the charger that's working. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick site review while I'm here, and I'm going to submit a couple of tickets to Electrify America to get their chargers rebooted and up and running. So and then we should be heading out pretty quickly after that. This is a really short stop. The Bay Area is kind of an odd duck for me to cross over because there's really not a whole lot for me to do here. It's a little early to make a stop, but because of the massive gap along Highway 101, I need to charge up again relatively soon because basically I have 120 to 140 miles to bridge. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of stuff here and get ready to head out. All right, well, we're here in Salinas. This is a new Electrify America site that opened up at the Walmart over here, I guess the Hardin Ranch Plaza in Salinas. It's actually, I think, the same complex as another 24 kilowatt charger, which I also haven't had the chance to use yet, but you know, when I got here, there was a Audi e-tron, and the driver was, I think, moving over to a new charger. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, this site has some issues to work out that, you know, I basically hammered Electrify America through their app and then on PlugShare to get them to fix these chargers. I don't know if this is fresh off of an installation and they're just having issues or what, but it looks like there's only one, maybe two functioning chargers at this site, and the one that I'm on is only charging at 100 amps. Now, the thing is, this is where this trip gets interesting, right? Because it's 140 miles to San Luis Obispo from here, and so for me, I'm gonna have to charge up high in my battery capacity anyway. So the charger being 100 amps, it's bad, but it's not that bad because I'm gonna have to charge up to about 80% anyway to sort of make that trip comfortably 140 miles at full freeway speeds. I mean, I lost probably 5-10 minutes because of it, maybe 15 minutes, but you know, I charged up a decent amount in Fremont, way more than I needed to get here. I sort of screwed up along the route. For those of you who know the route, you know, I ended up taking Highway 85 instead of Highway 101. I just couldn't get over in the freeway into my to exit onto Highway 101. There was just too much traffic and slowdowns and things like that. So, you know, this trip has been just a bunch of slowdowns, but so far I'm maintaining my challenge. I'm still only using chargers that I've never used before. So, I mean, this looks like it's going to be a decent site, and I hope Electrify America can get it up and running. But, I mean, the truth is, if I need to charge in this area, I'm probably going to be using the Recargo charger instead. It's just a nicer facility, easier to get to, and better maintained. So, but that being said, for me, the real challenge for this trip is I've used practically every charger south of Salinas. So this is going to be really hard. It's 140 miles just to get to San Luis Obispo, and I don't know, another 120 miles after that. So that's a lot of ground to cover without using a charger that I've already used before. So we'll see if that's going to happen. It'll take some crackerjack timing. But anyway, I'm gonna do a quick site review here and pack up and get ready to head out. Well, we made it to Pismo Beach. Now, good thing is we had a bit of a tailwind that was really helping our efficiency. You know, I'll just say this right now, I never count on a tailwind. That's why I charged up to a little over 80%, but with a tailwind, you know, it's just basically, it's a free bonus, right? But we made it to Pismo Beach. I'm at an EV Connect charger that's at the Pismo Beach City Hall, and I've never used this charger before. I didn't really know what to expect. It's one of the BTC Power Slim units, but it's free. And, you know, I mentioned EV Connect in another video that I did. I reviewed one of their sites. And what I found out is they don't actually set the pricing parameters. So in many ways, they're more like ChargePoint or Greenlots, where they'll lease out chargers to a host, and that host, it sounds like, is setting the parameters for whatever the pricing structure happens to be. Well, Pismo Beach is saying it's free. And my goodness, like, I'm looking out at the ocean right now. The sun is setting. This is a beautiful location, and I'm absolutely glad that I decided to come here, you know, trying this challenge, right? Otherwise, I could have gone to the Electrify America charger at the Pismo Beach outlets. I mean, that would have been fine. It's a great site, but this is excellent. I'm you know, it's a little bit on the slow side, but it's free, and you're sitting here looking over the ocean. You know what? I'm gonna cut this short. I think I'm just gonna go out and, you know, watch the sunset. I don't know how long I'm gonna let this charge. If I let this charge up to over 80%, I don't need to charge up again before I get back to my apartment. I'll end up charging sometime during the week, but I don't have to drive into work. I don't have to do any of that. So this would literally just be my last stop. And I might as well do that. Just kind of kick back, relax, unwind for the day, watch the beach. You know, I'll have an hour and a half, 2 hours of driving before I get home, but oh well. And you know, one other thing is, and I haven't eaten here since, well, since I was in high school, but this is right next to the F. McClintock's. It's a great sort of barbecue grill. It's just a great sit-down restaurant. I haven't been there in years and years and years. Unfortunately, with everything that's going on, they're closed down, but that raises the stock of this charging site even more. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this. I mean, of course, I would like to see it expanded a little bit, a few more chargers here, just to make it easier to assure access. But as it is, this is what I consider a really high-end DC destination charger. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm glad I did this challenge, because it let me check out some sites that I never would have checked out otherwise, probably. So I'm gonna go enjoy the sunset, and then get packed up and ready to leave whenever I decide to. All right, so we made it home, another successful 500-mile trip. So I said I wasn't really gonna focus on the amount of time that the trip took, but I will mention it because I actually tracked it. So it ended up taking us 12 hours and 20 minutes from the time I left home in Northern California to the time I got here. But if you look at the time that it took from when I actually left Northern California to get down here, that was only 10 hours and 20 minutes to go, well, less than 500 miles, though, about 460 miles, which is still not that fast, but given the fact that we're taking Highway 101, you know, it's a bit more sparse in terms of charging. It's a slower freeway, slower route overall. There's a lot of construction on there. You know, that's about right. I mean, I would say typical time from Northern California for the full 500 miles is about 11 hours if I'm taking Highway 101. So yeah, we weren't too far off of that. Now, the speed to take Highway 101 will increase a little bit as we start to see more of those faster chargers come online, really especially in the middle of that route where, like I said, I had to bridge a 140-mile gap, which luckily the winds were at our back, but I was able to successfully complete the challenge of using only chargers that I've never used before. So an achievement unlocked there. But yeah, overall I think it was a good trip, but it's been a long day, and yeah, it's time to get some Z's. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was informative. Maybe give you some more options of what you can do when you're traveling or where you might want to stop. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and thank you for watching.